Alright guys, so I just finished 12 minutes on the Stairmaster. I'm here at the gym getting ready to hit a leg workout, and today I want to tell you something, man. I want to talk about how learning accelerates growth. Now, the more you put into your mind, the more you learn, the more excited and enthusiastic you are to go out there and apply this stuff. When I go to the gym after I've watched videos on chest training sessions or different techniques or things I didn't know before, this makes me super excited to get in there, and I'm motivated to try those new principles out that I just learned. This works in every aspect of your life, whether it's your relationship or your career or the gym, your health, your diet, nutrition, all that stuff. Okay? Whenever you find time to prioritize learning, you are able to get motivated from the new knowledge you've acquired and go out there and make those changes. You have to avoid the pitfalls of sitting and learning things that aren't relevant to your situation just for the sake of learning. And you also have to avoid the pitfalls of learning all these things but never actually applying them. But if we could learn to develop our character, how we behave, that's where the big difference happens, because most of the time we're looking to behave differently so that we get different things in our lives. So when you change what you think about and you change the way you move your body, you change your state. Now, learning how to manage your state is important, because if you learn to manage your state properly, your state ultimately dictates your behavior. If you're in a down, draggy state, you're not going to be very productive. So learning to control your behavior, but understanding how to manage your state is super valuable. And if you can learn to implement these things by finding, what do I need to learn about right now? Where am I struggling? I often research my relationship stuff so that I could behave better or behave differently to acquire the dynamic that I want to be in my frame. Now, if you could do this in the gym floor with your health, with your career, that is going to make you accelerate so much more.
Pronounced dead on the scene.
And I can speak from my own personal experience. So we're gonna get out there, we're gonna hit some legs, I'll share some tips with you out there, and we'll see you then. All right, the first thing that we're doing is we're warming up with lunges on the turf, just to help open up the hips, get connected with your breath, so that when we start hitting our working sets, we're gonna feel really good, and we're gonna be able to really dive into this workout. And the key that I want you to focus on when you're training is, if you're a bodybuilder and you're going for hypertrophy, you're not a weightlifter. Okay, Kai Greene talks about this, and it's very important information.
Your bicep needs to stretch, it needs to contract, it needs to stretch, it needs to contract. So you might need to drop the weight, stretch, squeeze, stretch, squeeze. That's it. The primary goal here is not to contract, not to lift weights. You're not a weightlifter. I'll never be a weightlifter. And for people out there that don't know what a weightlifter and a bodybuilder, what's the difference, I'm going to explain it to you. A bodybuilder is primarily concerned with contracting his muscles. He contracts his muscles against greater and greater amounts of resistance. By doing that, he's able to stimulate hypertrophy and make his muscles grow. Primarily, what's important to me is being able to make my muscles contract efficiently. I'm going to get a stretch and a contraction, and I'm going to be in control of it throughout the entire range of motion. Does that make sense?
You are focused on contracting your muscle against a resistance. You don't lift weights. So when you're out here, focus on connecting with your muscle. Focus on learning to contract it the best you can. Go all the way through the range of motion. When I'm working out, I'm constantly thinking to myself, stretch, contract, stretch, contract, and go at a nice rhythm so that you get the best development possible in your muscles. All right, the next exercise is squats. Now we're doing barbell squats. You don't want to focus on your knees. As you're squatting, you want to open up in your hips and your groin area.
Now, when you go down, first just point your toes out a little bit more, for me. Now, when you go down, push your knees out. You feel how that feels? You feel a lot of strain on your knee. Now, instead of doing that, open up way up high in your groin. So what that does...
Show the camera what you pointed to,
what am I doing?
What you do is when you open up there, when you concentrate on opening up back here, it makes you sit back and
it's like a little kid got to go pee-pee.
Yeah. You open up back there, and it makes... You don't feel any stress on your knees.
I didn't sign up for any of this.
You don't feel stress on your knees anymore.
This is going to allow you to really get that depth, open up your hips, and not focus so much on the pain that your knees might be feeling. It's going to help your bar path move a lot better. It's going to help you push a lot more weight. Today's goal with the squats is not to go heavy. Today's to do the reps, get the movement in, and execute. What's up, bro?
Son of a bitch.
Okay, we're gonna be moving on to leg press. Now with the leg press, again, we're not focused on weight. We're focused on contracting against the resistance. Whatever that means for you, just fucking do that, right? You gotta contract, connect with the muscle, squeeze it as hard as you can until fatigue, and then you keep adding more weight, all right? Key here is I'm not going heavy. I'm not trying to snap my fucking ACLs. I'm just trying to make sure, again, that I'm working the muscle through its full range of motion and contracting. All right, next we have lying hamstring curls. Same thing, man. Focus on the hamstrings. Contract against the resistance. I like to do 15, 20 reps. I mean, that's a good range for me. It's not too heavy. It allows my mind to really get in there and squeeze the muscle.